It's another week of trying to stay alive in our survivor pools.
Survivor, man, that's like the beer bong of the contest.
We got knocked out of Survivor in week 1.
I think it's in my rules of Survivor. I think no Jaguars.
Every week, you can be done.
Survive and advance with us right now on BetQL Daily, presented by BetMGM.
Getting ready for the new NFL week to get started, and we take a look at Survivor. And if you're knocked out, like, I understand. We're there. I'm only alive because I did a bunch of rebuys. By the way, the fellas that won the rich person pool from the 108, they tipped me again. Good people over there. I'm like, really? You guys don't need to do that. But
that's awesome.
Get it done.
Double tip?
Yes.
Double tip. So what did they win? I know they split because there were two people left in your rich people pool. Two people at the end, or two entries at the end. They split and then played for the rest. So what was their net? How much did they take home?
So I don't have the exact dollar figure, but my guesstimate is around 20K. I think. Somewhere around there. Yeah. For half a season, it's pretty good.
That is good. They were asking me too, how much should we tip Joe? And I gave a generous answer, and they responded with, we thought more. So maybe I'm the cheap one. Maybe
no, I don't think so. I don't. Hey, I've received $0 from many people. So they're,
zero,
people
nothing, nada,
yeah,
nilch.
Yeah, zero. Yes. Which is why we are now on Splash. It's part of the reason, with as much effort as it takes. But anyways, this conversation we can relate to teasers as well, or just live dogs too. Like, which ones do we feel not all that comfortable with, even though there's a large point spread? Now, we've got, Sam, 7 games with point spreads of at least 6. Now that you add Tampa, that got to 6. You add Denver, that thing got to 6. Both road favorites. Man, of these large point spreads, 4 of them are road favorites. You got Denver, Tampa, Detroit, 7.5 on the road. KC, 11 on the road at Carolina. Then we also have home teams favored by more than a touchdown. But all 3 of these are in divisional matchups. Washington facing Dallas. Houston against Tennessee. The Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. And I think the most obvious one, let's start with the highest point spread of the week. This is one that I would definitely take a look at. Even though Nate Collins were saying yesterday it could be a close game, but we're not saying Carolina can win this game. Chiefs coming off the loss at the Bills, and I was actually looking at the rest of the schedule. Of all these 7 teams that we've talked about, if you look at future value, surprisingly, I don't think the Chiefs have as strong of a future value as a lot of these other teams, which we'll go over. Next week, they have Vegas. Of course, if you're looking ahead to next week, that's a good spot. Almost all of these teams have soft opponents next week. So you do need to think ahead a little bit if you got this far. Kansas City is not a bad look for me. Favored by 11 at Carolina, coming off the loss. Panthers injury report to start the week did not look good. Of course, the Raiders game is a solid option, but there are a lot of options next week. I circled Kansas City, and surprisingly, like, I've got revival pools that I start in week 5, so decent amount of teams used at this point. I have them available everywhere.
There are a lot of people, too, that have been saying for months, have to save Kansas City for Christmas, because a lot of survivor pools, you have to pick one of those 3 games. There's 2 on Wednesday and 1 on Thursday, week of Christmas. So 2 games Christmas Day, Chiefs at Steelers, Ravens at Texans, and then Thursday, Seahawks at Bears. Now, some leagues in Survivor only make you pick 1 game for that entire week. But other big prominent pools, you have to pick that Christmas pocket and then pick on the weekend. So please understand your rules in your pool. And another really quick aside for Survivor, we're in the same college football Survivor, the Kelly and Murray pool. How did 2 people miss their picks this week? I don't understand it. How? It is so easy to just make a pick.
That's it.
You've made it this far. You've made it 13 weeks. and suddenly you just forget. I understand life happens and emergencies happen, but I can just call Kelly, or if I'm in your pool, I can call you and say, hey, I can't make my pick. Can you put something in for me? I don't understand. Or a text message. How do you not go the extra mile and send a text or an email? I have no sympathy for people that miss survivor picks. I don't understand.
And with college, like that's how you have to get bounced, missing your picks, because everybody's still alive. And that one that you're referencing, we've got over 500 people still alive. It's been frustrating. I will say I'm in her $50,000 revival one. That one's more interesting. It's a double pick. We'll talk about it with Kelly. Double pick every week. Over 80% of the pool is out. And that started after a few weeks into the season. So, yeah, college, if you only have to make one pick, it becomes really easy. Got to make two every time. But I don't know. Kansas City's safe. Do you have another one that you have circled? I have a question about a team that plays near you. We'll get to that in a minute.
I thought you were going to take the Titans in Survivor. No, is that not happening? You're going to just take
Houston
out?
Yeah, no, that was you week 1 against the Bears, and you should have won.
What a good bet that was, looking back. I mean, that was a really good bet. They were up 17-0 against a rookie quarterback and lost.
Damn. Yeah, I don't even know how they lost that game. And people always bring up the bad luck with the Bears. Oh, the fail Mary. And what happened with the block kick? They somehow forget to bring up the Tennessee game that they had no business winning. Like that completely slips their mind.
To be fair, I probably shouldn't have taken an underdog in week 1 Survivor in the Rich People League, but I was on my business, and I decided that would be a good time to use Tennessee. You have to be bold to win these things. Maybe not that bold. But yeah, I got bonged out of that one in week 1, and then we had 2 entries in Circa, and I've been frozen for months in Survivor. I'm awful at Survivor, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Much better at the pick fives. So Denver makes a lot of sense.
I'm not taking Houston though. To your point, Houston against Tennessee. I'm not taking Houston. They still have Jacksonville and they still have Tennessee.
Denver looks like a decent look given their defense against the Vegas offense. I don't love laying 6, but Denver should win the game. And you have Sean Payton against Antonio Pierce. To me, that's a coaching mismatch. What about Detroit? You want to do Detroit before their schedule gets really tough? They're a 7-point favorite, 7.5 now at several shops at Indy. That'll be a popular one, right? Detroit?
So of the 7 teams that we're talking about, Detroit's the only one that I've used in all of mine. If you're looking ahead, they haven't played the Bears yet. So they've got the Bears twice. Those are some other possibilities there. But yeah, I think Detroit is certainly a good look. I don't know. Do you want to take them after they just steamrolled the team? Maybe later against the Bears. Maybe you want to take them at home instead of on the road.
I'm not saving Detroit for Thanksgiving if I'm still alive. The Lions have ruined Thanksgiving for me probably 20 times in the last 25 years. I know that this Lions team is, but even last year, how many people saved the Lions for Thanksgiving? And the Lions were really good last year. And they still lost on Thanksgiving to the Packers. No, I have PTSD with the Lions on Thanksgiving. How many Thanksgivings did I lose a nickel on the Lions in the fourth quarter? And then I got to sit at the table and grandma's asking, how's school? No, grandma, we're not talking about school right now.
Game. Yeah.
Stafford just threw a pick 6, grandma. I don't want to talk about it. You know, looking back, I miss grandma. But that said, I don't think I'm picking the Lions on Thanksgiving if I'm alive.
Yeah, I use them. Not an option for me. Your Denver play, I love. I know I try to stay away from divisional matchups, but there's a lot of divisional matchups the rest of the season, so that's going to be tough to do. Look ahead, Sam. I don't see another spot to use the Broncos. Not that I have circled. So I think this is a really good spot to use the Broncos.